Welcome back to this week's episode of Axing Questions. And guess what? It is time to bring the pain. And that's with head women's basketball coach, Loree Payne. Sorry, coach, I had to bring up the puns. I had to do it. I couldn't resist.
I've heard them all. Bring the Pain, House of Pain, all of that fun stuff.
And first off, what precautions have you and your team been doing to practice social distancing and physical distancing?
We've really been obviously hands off, and we've been doing a ton of Zoom meetings. Most of the kids are back home. They're doing their job to stay home and save lives.
Now, I got to ask this because you just wrapped up your third season here at NAU, and every single year you guys have just gotten better and better. The first season you got 7 wins, then you guys nearly doubled that. And now you guys were one of the best teams in the Big Sky Conference last year. I mean, what has been the reason for that?
One of the things that is huge is just we had to teach the kids how to have a winning mentality. For us, we just needed to start fresh and start from the ground up and really get our culture right. And that meant going out and recruiting kids that were the right fit on the court and off the court.
Well, let's actually go back to your time as a player at Washington. 2-time All Pac-10 first team. I mean, did that success as a player and an athlete at the time help translate to being a head coach?
Definitely. You know, when you play for a program that went to the Elite Eight and was one game away from the Final Four, to have that mentality of being a winning program is a huge piece. And a lot of times they just say it's mindset, and having a mindset of being part of a championship culture is a big piece of what we're trying to do here.
Well, I had to bring it back to the original House of Pain, so hopefully we can have a resurgence of that. The second coming of House of Pain. Had to bring up the great days of Washington for you. Now, going back to NAU women's basketball, what player during your time here has just taken leaps and bounds that are just incredible to see?
There's multiple players. You know, obviously we came in and Calais Paplo was a huge piece. I like to call her our Rodman, and with the MJ, documentary now, she was kind of that Dennis Rodman mentality. I think having Caitlin Malvar transfer up from formerly playing under me at Puget Sound, and her being able to come over here and just expand her game. I mean, she's the only kid that has a triple-double in the history books of NAU women's basketball. And, you know, one of the players that really stands out for me is Kai. Kyrika Rashid took her game from, being able to knock down an elbow jumper her freshman year to leading us in three-point shooting percentage, her junior year, and leading the entire conference in scoring.
I was doing some research. I saw on your Twitter page you promoted someone very special to you, and that's your own dog, Jaxson.
Is a 4.5-pound Shih Tzu terror. No, he's the sweetest little guy in the whole world, and he just turned a year old, and he was actually really sick when he was a puppy. He had parvo and just a fighter, and he was so resilient. I mean, they literally told us he wasn't going to make it, and here he is a year later, and he's pretty much brings all the joy to our lives.
And I know you to be the ultimate competitor, and you won't be satisfied that easily. What goals do you have for next year where you could end the season and be like, that was a great season?
We want to play in the NCAA tournament, and we want a Big Sky championship. And I think our kids are hungry for that. They know they were close this year, and just knowing that we bring pretty much all of our production back is a very exciting thing for us. And they're ready to go win that championship next year.
Coach Payne, a quick turnaround for women's basketball and a lot to be excited about in the future. Coach, thank you so much for joining.
Awesome. Thanks, Kay. Go Jax.